Case go. Oh my God. It's the one you can throw. Anyway, it's in one of the cases, and it's like, I forgot the name of the case, man. It can start with a G. I can't think of it right now. I'm getting old. Anyway, so outside it was like 100 or something, and I think in the case it's like a hard shield and a plastic, and it's all black. That case, this thing got hot. The phone said, "Yeah, it's too hot out here. I'm going to shut down." So I'm back in here, part two. If anybody jumps on, um, I'm just gonna chime in where I was at. I was just talking about I'm still a big proponent for making sure you guys have food on hand. In the Chicago BBW. Hey Tanya, what's up, baby? Chicago BBW was saying in the prior video that we got cut off on that she was hearing about water shortages out here on the West Coast. So I'll see if I can link it in the description if I can find it. They did a newscast on here regarding our shortage of water here. That's for the whole West Coast, like the Colorado usually supplies us, and it's drying up. We think we forgot what lake it is. A real popular lake we had here in Arizona where people used to boat on it. They were out there, and that lake was dry as a bone. It was like there was no water. I was like, what? Because I'm grown up here, and I grew up, and everybody used to go out there and get on boats and swim and all sorts of stuff. Families would go out there and just have a good old time. It's dry as a bone. Yeah, the baby. Well, Tanya, that was another thing. So I was saying that in my earlier video. We kind of got cut off because it got hot. My phone died. But if anybody comes in, like, thumbs up, and please press that like button. It helps the channel. Share it out also, definitely. And definitely if it can bless anybody. I was sharing because one of the thoughts that I have, and like I said, I have dreams. God gives me dreams, and I dreamt some of the things that are starting to happen. I dreamt about the whole chicken issue, and I'm realizing, okay, I saw me and my mother in a dream carrying a chicken to the trash can, probably 4 to 6 months into the pandemic. Um, and I saw other food issues in dreams. And I was like, okay, Lord, food issues. Granted, I'm fat as a house, but, even doesn't matter. You still got to have some sustenance for your body. So I'm watching because I'm looking at the mind of people, which is it's kind of mind blowing to me. Let me put my chat up here. It's mind blowing to me because I'm looking at the mind of people, and even people close to me, and it's almost like ain't nothing gonna happen, and everything's gonna be okay, and everything's going back to normal. Even in the Christian arena, you got ministers and people who are telling everybody happy, joy, joy. But things aren't getting happy, joy, joy. Things are waxing worse, which on a biblical level, that's how it should be. I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, but that's kind of how wrapping up a time is going to be. It's not going to get better. There'll be a period when it's supposed to look better, and then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose even more. But to lead up to the events that we're about to lead up to, things aren't going to get pretty. And there's people that are like, oh well, this is a reset. I'm sorry, I got sleep in my eye. It's a reset, and all this other stuff. And I believe what it is, you're telling the masses what they want to hear. And instead of preparing people to be able to possibly get through the period, you're telling them what they want to hear. And so it's like our government has known. I'm a firm believer they've known that we're going to have food shortages. It wasn't until recently, and I think the Ukraine thing kind of put it on the map. But I forgot who it is. The ones who do they do food over in third world countries. The gentleman who was running that, he said there is going to be a famine, a worldwide famine. He said that early pandemic. He talked about due to the climate change and other stuff, and the pandemic was just on top of the climate issues. Um, it was just added on, and nobody. And like I said, in America, and I think Chicago BBW said it earlier about our privilege, and in America, we are very privileged, so we think in this vein that everything is going to be happy, joy, joy, and go back to normal. We also, like I said, a lot of times we want to make God a teddy bear God. Like and I'm not saying God's a bad guy, because that's not what I'm saying, but God is while he's a loving God, he's also a disciplinary God. So he is a parent that is on all sides. That means if you don't acknowledge him in your ways and the things you do, there are repercussions for actions. A good parent doesn't spoil a child, they also discipline a child. Yes, you raise a child up with love, but you can't just give them everything they want. That's what's wrong with mankind in the first place. Were given a garden, and because everything was laid out before us, we didn't appreciate it. So we had to go through madness, and now all of a sudden we go through this thing to look up and say, oh, there's something bigger than me. So we want it our way, like a spoiled child. I want everything good. I want everything the way I want it, and I don't want it any other way, and that's just the way I want it, and I'm going to get what I want. That's not reality. It's just not reality. And not only is it reality, it's setting you up for a huge fall. So I think we have a lot of people, and I understand it's hard probably coping with the things that are happening right now, but we need to cope, and we need to be very cognizant and very aware of the times we're in. And there's a lot of people walking around in a weird but delusion. They're just walking around in like massive delusion. Let me put my chat up. So the baby formula thing to me, I'm gonna open up the iPad, is a way, in my humble opinion. Actually, I got somebody. Let me get my other one up. Getting my chat up so I can see it. The baby formula, in a sense, to me, is just one of many signs of the issues that we have in the food supply. And people are like I said, they're in this weird delusion that, I can go to the grocery store, I can get my own food, everything's gonna be okay. They're not they're not seeing the big picture of what's coming. That's the best way I can put that. Um, they're in this weird delusion, and I'm sorry for them, but they're gonna get their feelings hurt if they keep in this weird mindset that everything is gonna be happy, joy, joy, because it's just not reality. It's not reality. It's not even sustainable, and especially in the times that we're in, the amount of money that's been created to do all sorts of stuff. We have a government that's trying to try to put us back on top as the number one country and the country that everybody looks up to. And we got too many problems right now. Worldwide, everybody's got problems. But economically, everybody got problems. Um, I did not know, and I don't, again, I'm not in a position to know. I'm going to just go on what the premise is, and I'm going on what I've seen from other countries, that Ukraine does supply a lot of things. They supplied bread, psychotropic drugs. What do you mean psychotropics? You like for people who crazy? I don't mean to be mean, but you mean people who have mental issues? Is that what you mean? Clarify the psychotropic drugs. I don't know. That's not going to shock me either, because we were getting a lot of our stuff from over in China. And so with China, I don't know if you go look at them, they got massive lockdowns due to COVID going up again in their country. So they got a crap load of crackdowns. Okay. So now you saying you have a bunch of people who dealing with mental health issues that ain't gonna have the medicines to keep them uh in they God forgive me, in their mental kennel, is what you're telling me. So now we're gonna have a bunch of people going cray cray, which isn't shocking. Right now we got a bunch of people who are cray cray in general. They just may not have been diagnosed or know that they need to be diagnosed, because right now you're finding how many people in America and around the world who got cray cray issues and got mental health issues. And there's a whole bunch, and coming out of this pandemic, a lot of people are very broken, and a lot of the things are coming back to the surface. Okay, yeah. So that's not shocking to me, but I'm also seeing that in people who probably haven't even been diagnosed with the craziness going on. Like I said, when Monty's people showed up, I realized there was mental health issues on his side of the family, especially meeting the Smith side. When I met them, I was like, ooh, I was like, Okay, now things make more sense. Some things make more sense with him. So a lot of people have not been diagnosed with that they have mental issues, and then also sometimes it's genetic and family lines. And I said, like I said, I sat at a table with three of them, and I saw it in some of the siblings. Actually, I know in a couple of the different siblings, there's psychological issues. And Monty himself, I saw it. So I didn't know what it was until I actually started seeing it with the others, and I was like, okay, y'all got mental issues. And then things started making sense. It made a lot of sense, and that stuff translates down. And if people haven't been diagnosed, and to them they're normal, that's their normal. Um, and you be like even in, like I said, I work in corporate environments where I'm working with people. I'm like, ooh wee, y'all crazy as a box of rocks. And I think all of us have some sort of issues and something that we could use counseling from. But there are some people who have severe mental health issues, and it's unfortunate. But a lot of that's again not shocking. We basically our entire country we basically gave to other countries and to service us. And the wealthy on top, the people ran businesses and they wanted slave wages so they could pocket more money. And the loyalty to the country and to the people and trying to supply jobs was not their goal. The goal was greed. And that greed is what has us in this position now where we all our stuff is outsourced to other countries. And like even in the pandemic, the early part of what I'm saying, we're still in the pandemic, but the early part of the pandemic when they needed respirators, we didn't have factories here that made them. They had to turn the car companies into making respirators. Why? Because most of our stuff is made over in China and Japan and all the other dang countries where they paid slave wages, and you couldn't get nothing made here in our own country. And it's sad, but that's right now. There's chip shortage. All our chips for cars and other things, technological devices, all made over in China and Japan. And now we got a chip shortage because you can't get it over here, and then you got lockdowns from the people in the factories that can't go work in the factories to make the stuff. So now they got, here in the U.S., we're having to do it here. But I see so much, but what gets me, I think, what's really been bugging me, and I sit down with friends of mine, and I'm just like, it's all about your own bubble. I got my little comfortable house, and I got my little comfortable space, and I got my little bubble of my family, and I'm not worried about anything else. But it's gonna knock at your door, and it's gonna knock at your door like it did at these people's door who didn't expect when they got babies to go to the store every week or 2 weeks and get baby formula instead of stocking it up a little bit. And I'm not saying to clean the shelves, but now you seeing where having some preps and having stuff on hand is very relevant. So now the government's scrambling to see if they can even get any of this stuff worked out. I don't even know if that's going to happen. So there's a lot going on. It's like it's right now. You saw me out in that little garden. That's why. Because I'm like, okay, all of a sudden, every day I go out there and I'm like, every pay period now, that's part of it. I'm now grabbing what I need to get that garden on point because we are going to have issues. And with Arizona, with our water shortage, that's not only affecting Arizona, that's everything West Coast. I know California, I know us, I know parts of Texas. I'm not sure parts of Colorado. Oh my God, who else? New Mexico. And I don't know what other states this may impact whoever's getting water from Colorado. And we have not been told of water rationing, but I watched the thing I put on there, and if I I'm just gonna see if I can find a link. Cause I think I sent it to Linda, so I'm gonna see if I can find it. But it was funny because I'm watching it. So these two white guys are talking on the council. There's a brother to the side. I ain't gonna tell y'all. Watch the brother's face. Watch the brother's his face spoke volumes. If you watch his behavior, and my friend Linda, she watched it. She said, "Girl, you looking at what this brother's?" I said, "Mm-hmm," and she picked up on it. It spoke volumes, because certain folks gonna tell you what you want to hear, and this is not what's going on with the water. It's not good. But again, people buying houses here in Arizona and filling up pools and acting like everything's normal. No, baby. When this hits the fan, it's they can't grow food without water. Arizona does have an agriculture and animals. How you gonna water? Hey, Rochelle, what's up? How you gonna water the animals? How you gonna do that? How you gonna feed them? How you gonna grow if there's food you grow for them? How you gonna grow your produce? Because the water supply is bad. They were interviewing farmers and stuff that said that they even have water restrictions. So now they're trying to tap well water. And if y'all ever go research a well only has so much water in it. And that actually is filled up by things happening climate wise. But again, again, everybody want to make it seem like it's normal. Yeah. Mm-mm. So we want to live and do a lot of stuff, and things are about to significantly change. Oh, the planet's doing a reset. Yeah, okay, if you say so. I'm going to tell you, the planet's telling me Jesus is coming. That's what it's telling me. The Bible says the earth moans and groans for the return of God. So that's what it's telling me. So I don't see it getting better. I see it going to grow worse. And I also see it growing worse because we refuse to change as humans. And it's okay. But telling people living in this delusion, even Christian, I'm living there like, oh, everything's gonna be fine, it's perfect, and Lord's gonna bless you, and everything is roses and candy. Telling people what they want to hear. You're gonna tell people what they want to hear into destruction. Last night I was telling a story. We went to have dinner, me, Joe, and my friend Linda, and then we went by another friend of his house. And I was telling the story. We and her were talking because she had blood clot or disorder problems, and I have blood clot disorder problems. And I never knew. I met her before, but I didn't know she had struggled with some of the same things I had. And so me and her were talking about, I talked about my experience at the hospital and how the hospitalist, when I was sick, he just had no bedside manner. But I want you to hear what she said. She said, at least he told you the truth. I'm telling you, that's a word. There's a lot of people who are going to be out here and they want to lie to you and tell you, oh, everything's roses and candy. They want to tell you everything's pretty. They want to tell you all this stuff, and it's a lie. The company I'm at currently, they just had a huge layoff. I didn't get laid off. I'm still working for now. I don't know, because I foresee that there might be more layoffs. But, I saw it coming. I saw it like a couple of weeks prior. And a couple of people I said they don't have a choice because there were things they were doing. I said, they're going to have to lay off. And sure enough, that's exactly what they did. Because they had overhired. And the thing is that you're bouncing around the issue. Just tell the truth. And that's the other thing. Some people want to tell you what you want to hear. And the thing is, by telling you what you want to hear, you're not prepared for what's the repercussions of what's going to happen. And so that's part of the issue that I see, is that some of our government is telling you what you want to hear because the elections are around the corner and happening. They trying to keep they positions and titles. You got ministers who telling you what you want to hear because they want that tithe to keep coming in that church. And they know that people only want to hear what they want to hear. So I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. You keep putting your money in the bucket. I might not get the biggest numbers, but I'm going to be truthful. This is not going to get better. No dang time soon, if at all. And if anything, you should be prepared for what's coming. You got a yard, you need to be gardening. You got a balcony, you need to be gardening. You got a patio, you need to be gardening. If you got room in your house, you can set up a place to grow some food. You can grow lettuce inside the house. You can grow tomatoes and other plants inside the house. You just have to do your own pollination or self-pollinate them. And you can grow some things that grow inside the house in the right little area. It'll grow without even pollinating, self-pollinating plants that don't need any pollination. So there's things you can, but yeah, no. Next. Next. Folks, it's amazing to me. It's absolutely amazing. But I just watch people, and people gonna do what they want to do. You want to be in delusion, and that's okay. Be in delusion. We gotta be ready for what's coming. So the baby formula to me is just one of many signs on food shortages and needs and things that you should have stocked up in your house. It boggles my mind, like what happened in Texas. I'm like, wait a minute. I gotta understand. It's my mind when they had that freeze. The start of the pandemic, there wasn't no toilet paper, wasn't no water, wasn't no cleaning supply, wasn't no hand sanitizer, hardly any food, and ninjas ain't got no food still in the house. And when the fast food restaurants, they wrapped around the building, and the pizza place is getting busy. I'm confused. I'm like, how y'all don't have no food? Right now, I might not want to cook, but I can sit up here. I got refried beans, jalapenos, corn, peaches, carrots, corn, what else? String beans, hell, pineapple, applesauce, tomato sauce, soup, green beans. I'm literally looking at my counters right now. Different types of corn, different types of beans. What else I got up there? Oatmeal, pancake mix. I got shelf stable milk. I got coffee for days. What else I got up in here? I got enough rice to kill 2 horses and beans. I got enough beans for a minute. There is dry beans. That's dry. Dry rice, dry beans. There is absolutely, and my freezers are both packed with meat. I don't, you know, it doesn't make sense. And I'm going to myself, now I can say, okay, I want to go get something fast food. But the reality of it, I don't nearly need to have to. I got food on hand. So I'm really struggling. God forgive me, I'm struggling when I got people who don't got no food. I'm just like, and because you still living in this weird delusion that there's gonna be food in the grocery store. I got, I don't know how many toilet papers it is. A friend of mine gave me a big old case of toilet paper. But in my closet, I need to up it again because I haven't added to it lately. But I only got about 4 or 5 months worth of toilet paper in there. It it don't make no sense. And I got water. Now I'm still working on getting my water restacked. I used to have 16 cases just on the side. Right now, probably at 13. So I got to rebuild that back up. And eventually in this room, I'm going to have even more water stacked back here. Because right now, you just don't know. I got collapsible totes. So if something does happen, hinky, and I get enough of a warning, they start saying, oh, we're going to have ration of water. I'm going to fill my totes up. And I'll have totes, get them filled up, sit them over here on the side, and put a little bleach in them, and store them here in the room. And I forgot how many I got. I know I got 7 gallons? 7-gallon totes. They're collapsible. Take them in there. You can get tub bladders too. You can do that too if you need it. And then you just have to ration your water, have enough to brush your teeth and wash your behind. That's my whole point. That's my whole point, Chicago BW. There are people, and you can warn people. And people, I got people I have warned. I warned a friend of mine. I have a friend who came into a lot of money. He inherited money from his sister. I love him dearly, but I do not think he's prepped for what's coming. And he kind of is the person that handles and takes care of all the family. And they're a Spanish family, and so they're not even prepped because he thinks that the money is going to take care of it. But I'm gonna tell you, there's going to be a point where your money ain't going to mean shiznit. There's a story in the Bible, and it's the story of Joseph when he was thrown into the pit and he ended up in Egypt. So this is how the Hebrews, Jews, aka the Jews, ended up in Egypt under Pharaoh. And Joseph was the first one there, and then when the famine happened, they migrated there pretty much. So here's the story, and this is the storyline I want to tell you. He ends up interpreting a dream from Pharaoh that God gives Pharaoh about a famine coming to the land, okay? God basically said it's going to be a 7-year famine, but I'm also giving you 7 years to store up. So Joseph actually gets put over storing up the 7 years of food, grains, and all that. Egypt became a place that actually saved a lot of people because that city basically stored up enough grains. But to even get that, people were turning over their lands just to get something to eat. And that's what's critical is that people are not, and the problem is some of these people are going to be friends and family of yours and they're going to knock at your door. And I don't mean to be heartless, but you are going to have to make some very hard decisions. And like I said, I might be able to help one person, but I can't help a whole family. And I got people I know with kids. They knock on the door, I can't help you. I warned you. That's all I can say. I warned you. And it feels sometimes like you being hard-hearted, but the Bible gives us wisdom on there are families that are going to join together because I had a friend of mine, and his family ratchet. Even the family I'm from, there's a bunch of ratchet folks. I don't deal with them, and that's probably, like I said, when I die, people, my friends gonna have to put me in the ground because I just refuse to deal with family ratchetness. There's a point where you show me your A, and you supposed to be my blood. I'm done. It's sad when your friends who are strangers are better friends to you than people who are your blood to you. And once you show me who you are, I'm a huge Maya Angelou fan. When a person show you who they are, believe them. They tell you or they show you, you need to believe that. You don't, oh no, no. I knew who Grumpy was. I knew he was special. I knew he's a jerk. We got along because we were kind of friends and we got along, but I knew who he was. So I knew what lines. So there's some lines you can hang with people and know where you're gonna go, but there's other folks I just dismiss you. It's not a hatred. It's not a meanness. It's just like I'm not about the drama. Whereas I have a friend of mine. He got so much family drama. I'm talking about violence. Family that has tried to commit violence against him, and you still interacting with them. I'm talking about shooting and stabbing and all sorts of, and still interact. No, not me. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. 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 And I think it's foolishness. It's absolutely foolish to put yourself in that position, and then you gonna die behind foolishness because you caught up in family. No, 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 no. There's another biblical story where God told Abraham, "Leave your family, leave them," because he knew. I think God knew family had a lot of issues. Leave them. Leave Abraham. Leave them. Who he bring with him? Lot. What Lot get involved in? Sodom and Gomorrah. I don't know what else to say. It's just foolishness. But you got friends and family, and you can tell them. And I don't even say anything anymore because sometimes I said something to Grumpy before he died. And he, I'm like, I don't want to cook. I don't want to do this. At the end, I'm hearing you beg. Now I'm hearing he's dead. He begged people for food and all sorts of just foolishness. Because you're going to get it or you're going to get it. You're either going to learn or you're going to learn. You're going to get it one way or the other. You're going to get it the proper way and learn and change, or you're going to get it and just have to suffer all the negative consequences. It's sad, but so true. Okay, hold on. They want to hear it on the news. Then I think people will take everything seriously. Chicago BBW, they've been talking about the food shortages on the news. They don't want to hear it. I'm gonna tell you right now, that right there, they're not listening. They've been talking. The food shortages have been mentioned on the news a lot. Overseas, was it China, maybe Japan, and I think Germany. They told their people to start stocking food because they were expecting issues. They told them to store food. They told them that. Okay, I read it in publications over in those countries. They told them. I watched some of the media for those countries. They told them. Okay, the U.S. Biden got on the news, even though you shouldn't have needed him to get on there. Even though they should have told you this a long time ago. And he told them we're going to have some food insecurities. That's a nice way of saying we're going to have food that ain't going to be available. And that right there should have been the warning. But people, we don't want to hear. We want to hear what we want to hear. The Bible says tickling of the ears, meaning that I want to hear what I want to hear. People don't want to. They don't want to heed warnings. The Bible says, as in the days of Noah, actually, was it Christ said? At the last days will be as in the days of Noah. Noah was warning what was coming. He warned them about the flood coming. Oh, but we ain't see no storm clouds. Okay. Okay. Oh, y'all forgive me. Okay. You go ahead with that premise. Ain't no storm clouds. Keep doing what you're doing. You're a winner. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean. You winning. You doing. You're the best. You're smart. You're smart. And so they kept doing what they was doing, and wasn't no storm clouds, and everything is hunky dory, and everything is wonderful and roses, and then the flood came because people want to do what they want to do. People want to live life the way they want to live it, and they don't want anything interfering until it's right at the end, and then right at the end, clawing, and I can imagine beating on that boat to try to get in, and at that point, it's a done deal, decision made. And I think, like I said, the best thing was that God sealed up the boat because I believe Noah may have been too soft-hearted and let them people in that boat, and he wouldn't have been able to survive. And there were people that shouldn't have been in there because it's just, like I said, people do some of the weirdest stuff. And I know some of it, people are going to make choices, even in the last days, once the church is out of here, but I'm a firm believer in the rapture. Um, when it comes down to those people who are left behind and then may become believers, when they, let's say they get caught by whatever security force and they don't take this mark that everybody's supposed to take, and it's them and their kids. You put your son up there who ain't never been saved, he got a whole different view, who probably wouldn't risk himself for you. And the mothers are going to say, I'll take the mark, just don't kill my son. That's what's going to happen. And you damning yourself to eternal hell behind somebody who probably wouldn't do it for you. But also, it also shows you where your true love is at. Because there's a point where you're going to have to choose between man and God. And I'm talking about siblings. I'm talking about children. I'm talking about spouses. I'm talking about mamas and daddies. You're going to have to make a choice. And are you going to choose these humans or are you going to choose God? And then you hope that these humans, if they on the right page, they will choose accordingly too. So you're going to have to make a choice. And there's going to be a lot of people who are going to let their soul go into hell behind another flesh and blood person who, and I'm not saying they have to, but they have to do the same for you, but they wouldn't. And even if they would, you have to make the best choice. And the choice is choose God over man. And that's going to be hard. And it's going to be survival of the fittest with this madness that's going to come. And some people some people want to be super duper Christian. God forgive me for this. Oh no, I'm going to help people, and you're not going to be able to help on the level you think you're going to help. You're not, because the level of famine is going to be able to take care of your household. I got a whisker, y'all, right here. I got a new whisker. I'm going to feel them. It's going to take care of your household. It's not going to be enough to take care of everybody, Johnny down the street, your cousins, your auntie, your uncle, your grandmama, and all them people who wouldn't listen, who was going to Burger King and McDonald's and didn't have no food in their house. It's not gonna help you with that. It's just not. And you're gonna get your feelings hurt. So people can have all day long on the news, um who's it? They can have all day long on the news that um what's the word I want to use? That, hey, there's a famine coming to America. Folks ain't gonna really truly listen. Not until it's really dire straits. And right now, like this baby formula thing, God is giving signs. I don't know how many signs he can give you. The start of the pandemic was when they cleaned off them shelves. That happened. And then you go to Texas and you see all these people. Folks still didn't have food. Folks didn't have water. They were just like Grumpy. Granted, Grumpy's apartment but it was still pretty much similar. He had a few cases of water. I didn't even look in the refrigerator, but I'm pretty sure there was only cigarettes in there and water. That was typical of who he was, because I want other people to do stuff for me. I wanted to live the way I want to live, to the point where his money wasn't lasting, and he's begging a woman who's on a limited income to cook him food and give him his leftovers because I just don't want to cook. I don't want to. And so I want things the way I want them. It's a selfish, self-centered environment. And unfortunately, that is the mind of people. I realized it was a blessing getting to know him, because I learned how self-centered people really operate and think. And it is amazing. And most of mankind is that way at some level. Some are more severe, like he was, than others. But most of mankind is that way. I want it my way. I'm going to do it my way, even if it is detrimental to me. It's just the nature of man. It's the nature of man. So no, they can watch news all day long. Some of them are watching news because they don't want to hear. That's the other issue. So you got the other group, I don't want to know. So I don't want to hear. So they won't even watch the news. They won't even watch it. I don't want to know. It's too much to handle. So I don't even want to watch it. I'm not going to watch the news. I'm not going to watch it because it's too much to handle. Okay. Do you, boo-boo. Do you. That's I don't want to know. I had to tell a friend of mine about the fourth vaccine because he won't watch the news anymore because it's too much. He doesn't want to hear any negativity. I don't want to hear the good stuff. And unfortunately, you need to hear everything because you need. There's stuff I don't want to hear on the news. So what I do is I do the nightly news, and they give you a snapshot of what it's going to be about. As I get to different sections, I listen. If there's something I don't want to hear about because I know they just, playing it up, fast forward. But if it's stuff, I want to hear about the economy. I want to hear about the crashes. I need to hear about that. I want to hear about anything with the vaccines. I want to hear about anything with food shortages. Now, I don't need you playing to me that they shut up the store and you're going to interview Johnny and what happened and what went through your mind and all the, okay, I want to hear this store got shut up. I need to hear that. But, yeah, there's people and you're just sitting there and I'm going, I got a couple of whiskers, y'all. I got a couple. I can feel them. I got one here. I had one down there. I don't know if I got them. But, yeah, these people, folks want to hear what they want to hear. It is what it is. I want to hear what I want to hear. So no, folks ain't gonna. It's not gonna get better. It's just not. Um. So like I said, if you guys have the capability, store up and grow you some food outside. Get you some water in your house. And I don't mean. I ain't talking about for a couple of weeks. I'm talking about start stocking for months. And find if you can get you. I would like to get a Berkey. Get you a good filtration system in your place. And the other things I would like to get is I would like to get some solar generators in case power outage or anything like that. Because, like I said, things are going. There's more coming. I'm not a doubt in my mind. I tell him in my ministry group, I don't even worry about now at my pipe. If you can hear me, hear me. And if you can't, you don't want to hear me and you want to be in your illusion, fine. Just don't knock at that door. Don't knock at my door asking me for a shiznit because you made a choice. Don't. Hey, me and the kids, we's hungry. Oh, okay. I did tell you about the dreams, right? Yeah. I did tell you to start storing food, right? Yeah. The news had that on there, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. You knew about all the stuff that happened at the early part of the pandemic? Yeah. Okay. And you knew about this, and this? Yeah. Okay. But you just decided to keep on doing. No. No, no, and no. I don't mean to be mean. No. Anyway, y'all ain't gonna be on here long. I hope you guys are blessed. I just want to do this second part because we got cut off before my phone got too hot. Again, like, share it out. What else? I forgot what else. Was I supposed to cover something else? Let me see what else I said I was gonna cover. I'll be showing y'all more of my plant stuff as we go along. I thought I was gonna cover something else. Let me see what else I was gonna cover, y'all. Hold on, let me. I thought I was covering something else. I just went blank on what it was. Hold on, y'all. Let me go back here. And we'll go here. Oh, it's just life, food, and chat. Okay, nothing big. So I'm going to get off of here, but I hope y'all have a good night. If you watch this later, like, thumbs up, share it out. That blesses the channel. Guys, 2 and 2, and I may do something in a couple Sundays from now. Peace.